Hello everyone, a very good morning to everyone. Myself and I am here to take your biology class of the class 10, and the topic that we are discussing is about reproduction or how do organisms reproduce. In that we have completed with the asexual mode of reproduction. There are different types of asexual reproduction. All we have discussed. We have discussed about tissue cultures also. Now in today's class we are going to discuss about sexual reproduction. Okay. Sexual reproduction. Now when we are going to discuss about sexual mode of reproduction, the question comes, why organism needed to develop sexual mode of reproduction? Because already we have discussed about asexual mode of reproduction. So what things make that organism get adapted to sexual mode of reproduction? So in the continuous series of asexual reproduction, we have seen that spore formation. There we have found specialized reproductive structures which are involved in the development of new organism, that is spore. So what we can say, the reason behind this is the complexity among organisms. Okay, the complexity of organisms. So what we are saying, that the complexities of organism, okay, the complexity of organism which is making the cell specialized organism, which making the cell specialized in function. So as cells are become special in their function, okay, specific with their function, so each cell or particular type of organ is not able to produce the complete organ, first of all. Second thing, organism needs to adapt. Organism needs to adapt with changing environment. Yes, the organism needs to adapt with the changing environment. It means that in the genetic material, okay, there is information which is actually going to be make the organism according to its habitat and environment, okay, where it is staying or is actually functional. So if there are any changes, okay, in the environment, that organism also need to adapt that change, okay, and so on. What will be happen? The change in the genome also necessary. Otherwise, that organism would not be able to survive. It means that sexual reproduction, it leads to variation. Yes, it leads to variation, and as a result, evolution. As a result, evolution means variation is the result of sexual reproduction. In the case of asexual reproduction also you will find variation, but the percentage of variation is very less in the case of asexual reproduction. When we are going for the sexual mode of reproduction, the percentage of variation is high. Plus that variation is diversity. In our surrounding we used to have see different types of organisms. Just take the simple example that the individual of the same parent, yes, the individual of the same parent are different types. Yes, suppose brother, sister and the offspring of a parent, are they all same? No. In the case of twins, that is different case, exceptional condition, but there also, in twins also there are different categories. But what we are saying in general perspective, that the organism of the same parent also are different in appearance, right? So how all those things take place? All those things are actually related to sexual reproduction. Now we are going to discuss about sexual reproduction, how the DNA and how the organisms are involved in it. Okay. We all know the formation of organism is actually the duplication and replication of the cell. Correct? Duplication or replication of the cell. So we can say the replication genetic material leads to formation of new cells. Correct? New cells are going to be formed. Second thing, the replication is not with 100% accuracy. Now the mechanism of replication with the help of the cell apparatus takes place is not exactly accurate. There are some errors. Yes, not 100% with not 100% accuracy. It means that there are some difference. Okay, and that error you can say. Okay, that error in replication leads variation. Now we need to concern one thing, that the variation which are actually taking place in the organism should be stable. If it is positive, because suppose that if the variation is not stable and while transferring the character from one generation to the next generation, if get changes, then that organism is not able to be survive. That is the reason why the accumulation or the variation, this variation we are not going to observe or study only at the individual, but we used to study them as a population. It means that the variation that is being happened, okay, in the organism should be stable, and it is going to be observed in the individuals, in the population, so that they can get adapted to the environment and can survive. Okay, and see one more thing. Due to the process of replication, the differences that takes place in the genetic material which lead to the variation, that is actually two types. We can say one is your positive variation. Okay, positive variation, and another one is known as negative variation. Negative variation. Now I will explain both this topic with examples. See, in case of positive variation, if you are going to talk, suppose that nowadays we are facing the problems of pollution, global warming and all those things. Just take the example, a simple example, that with the help of microbes. A microbe is surviving or existing in an environment where the temperature is medium, not very hot, normal, okay? What happened due to global warming or due to pollution and such kind of factors? The temperature of that particular region is getting increased slowly, okay? The temperature of that particular region start getting increased. Now, what happened? The organisms which are previously existing or the microbes which are previously existing in that, now they are not able to survive in that because of the change in the environment. But during the course of cell division and process, with the response of that environmental change, we will find that few mutant, okay, few mutant or the few cells or the group in that colony, they have developed resistance, okay, to the increasing temperature. Means they are able to survive in that increasing temperature. So what happened? We see that the factor which is necessary to develop resistance in resistance against increasing temperature is present in the new variant, okay, new one is compared to the old one. They don't have that features. Now, so this feature that they have developed should be stable, need to be transferred to the next generation by the new variant. Got it? So that kind of variation is known as positive variation. And in the other sense, those microbes which are not able to produce that or which are not able to uptake that genetic change, as a result they are going to be die. So that kind of variation is known as negative variation. Okay, so this is what related to the variation and all. Now when we are going to talk about the sexual reproduction, in the introduction we need to focus one thing, that what is sexual reproduction. Okay. See, sexual reproduction, when we are going to talk, it is involvement. It is involvement of two parents. Got it? Sexual reproduction, it is involvement of two parents. Got it? Now, when we are going about talking about complex organism and such kind of organism, we know that their nature is twice and that is diploid. Correct? I told you the organism is diploid in nature, and so it is involvement of two parents. Means sexual or reproduction is the result of the fusion of the gamete produced by the two parents from the male and female, result in the formation of the offspring. So the the offspring have both the character of both the parent. Correct? Okay. So if one parent is diploid and another one is diploid, so when they are going to be together, it will become what? 4n. Correct? In the same way, other case also it is going to be 4n. If it is the case, okay? And again they are going to be combined. What problem we are facing here? The genetic makeup is totally going to be disturbed. Not a definite, not a fake. So, what is the mechanism or what such methods developed by the organism who follow the sexual mode of reproduction to control or to maintain their genetic makeup? Yes, otherwise the DNA replication mechanisms is going to be totally disturbed if this is going to be the condition. So, what they do, they follow a special, see this is the parent, yes, this thing is not possible, okay? This is not possible. So what happens, suppose this is your parent, diploid parent, okay? This one is mother, this one is father. So what they do, they undergo a process of reduction division. What? Reduction division, in which the parent gamete cell, which is mother cell, which is diploid in nature, reduce their chromosome number up to half. Chromosome number into half. So what will happen? This is twice and they are going to form a gamete which is haploid in nature. Okay? They are going to produce gamete which are haploid in nature. Same way both the parents going to produce haploid gamete. As a result, what happens? The fusion of this diploid cell is not going to be takes place. The fusion is going to be takes place among the gamete. And that gametes are haploid in nature. The chromosome number is half. So when they are going to be fused, okay, when they are going to be fused, what will be happen? The total genetic makeup, okay, the total genetic makeup is going to be same like the parent. Okay, the total genetic makeup is going to be same like the parent. Okay. Now I told you about gametes, right? So what do you mean by gametes? Gametes are actually the haploid set of chromosomes which are which are able to transform from one generation to the next generation, and their fusion result the formation of zygote, and the zygote is the base of the formation of the new generation. That zygote going to be developed into the new organism. So in case of sperm, I told you that if an organism is getting developed into, if the zygote is getting developed into new organism, they need high amount of energy. So how that is going to be possible? So the gamete that we are used to talk in general, when we are going to talk about, suppose male and female, leaving few exceptions, okay? Leaving few exceptions, there are male gamete, we used to say male gamete, which are small in size, mostly, okay? Small in size and motile. Okay, small in size and motile. And female gamete, they are large in size and mostly, exceptions are there, okay, and non-motile. Non-motile plus female gamete, they store food for the growth of zygote. Means initially after the fusion, the zygote formed, they need to energy for the growth and division. That energy was provided by the storage form of the food or nutrient that is stored by the female gamete, that is egg cell. Okay, so male gamete in general form we used to say sperm, or here that is your egg cell or ovum. Okay, egg cell or ovum. This is what the base, okay, of the sexual reproduction. Got it? So now in the next class we will going to discuss about the sexual reproduction in flowering plant, how the male and female gamete takes place, what are the accessory parts, what are the different parts, depending on that we will discuss about the perfect and imperfect flower, bisexual, unisexual, monoecious, dioecious. Lots of different terminologies are there, okay, and even we will discuss about the structure of different parts, why it is formed, so what is the reason behind that, all those things we will discuss, and after completion of that we will discuss reproduction in male and female, that is human, and so on. We will discuss this chapter. Okay, with this we have almost completed the introduction of sexual reproduction. Now in the next class we will going to study topic or topic wise in detail. Okay, with that, thank you and have a nice day.